Hi, I'm George Thomas, and I'd like to talk to you a bit about your marvelous mind and some definitions of terms and what hypnosis is and is not, because it will be very useful to you once we go into a session. It will help things go smoother and help you understand what's going on. Hypnosis has been given a very clear definition by the United States government, Department of Education, Human Services Division. The definition is as follows. Hypnosis is the bypass of the critical factor and the establishment of acceptable selective thinking. I'd like to explain further, make a little change. I'd say that it's through the establishment of acceptable selective thinking that we're able to bypass the critical factor. The first part, the establishment of acceptable selective thinking, refers to following instructions during the hypnotic induction. The bypass of the critical factor refers to the effect that hypnosis has, the ability for the client to accept and then use the hypnotic suggestions that were given during a session. We all use the same language, except everybody perceives things a little bit differently. So again, talking about your marvelous mind and parts thereof. Excuse me. The unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is your body's consciousness. It's developed before you're born and fully programming, knowing how to take care of all the things it needs to in order to keep a body running smoothly. It knows how to breathe, defend itself from infections, digest food, and so on. Your unconscious mind is intelligent and can learn. This was proven by the work of Dr. Ivan Pavlov when he showed that these autonomic responses, such as salivation, could be trained by pairing autonomic responses with other stimuli. If you heard the story, he introduced food, rang a bell, introduced food, rang a bell, introduced food, rang a bell. At one point, the dogs were so conditioned to the bell that he rang the bell, did not introduce food, and they salivated. Sometimes the unconscious mind, meaning well, will program us to do things that are not in our best interests, such as a child who learns to feel sick to avoid going to school. The unconscious mind can then learn to actually generate symptoms, such as a headache or stomach ache, in order to protect us, because the unconscious mind is always working to protect us from stressful situations, against infection and injury, yes, but that's not all. In its mission to protect us, it can also cause us to desire unhealthy substances if it believes that these can help us relax or cope with stress. Fortunately, hypnosis can be used to overcome this unfortunate accidental programming. The subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is nearly the part of our consciousness that defines who we are and what we do on a consistent basis. Altogether, it makes up our personality. The subconscious mind starts off empty when it's first developed, before you're born, and then starts gathering information from our experience and perceptions around us, gathering information, bringing in data. This gathered information is held in our permanent memory, containing all the information that we gather throughout our lives. It's like a computer database, except that, unlike a computer database, the permanent memory seems to be unlimited in how much information it can retain throughout our lives, unless the brain is damaged by physical trauma or disease. Some of this information in the subconscious mind is then turned into habits and cause us to react automatically to people and circumstances in our lives. This information is also developed into beliefs. Beliefs are things that we think to be true, even though we may not have definite proof. Having a definite proof would allow us to be in a state of knowing rather than just believing. The subconscious mind resists change, which is mostly beneficial to us. It conserves a great deal of mental energy. This enables us to maintain a consistent personality throughout our lives, but can cause problems when we decide that a change in how we think, feel, or behave is in order. This is where hypnosis comes in. Hypnosis allows us to rapidly make changes in how we think, feel, and behave. The subconscious mind is always working to protect us from what we know, meaning believe, to be dangerous. As our perceptions about what's going on around us interacts with our beliefs about how things should be, it generates emotions. When the subconscious mind perceives what it believes to be a dangerous situation, it generates fear. When it perceives that you've been treated unfairly, it will generate anger, as an example. Hypnosis can directly affect these beliefs and habits in a way that using the conscious mind alone can rarely accomplish. Speaking of which, we'll next talk about the conscious mind.